Hey, what's up, Gemsonas? I'm the Real Manos, and this is my buddy
Deadpoolzilla.
and we're here to talk to you about an episode of Primetime Crisis concerning the last week of the Steven Universe Summer Adventures episodes. And what we're talking about is the two-parter, Beta Earthlings, Back to the Moon, Bubbled, Kindergarten Kid, and Know Your Fusion! And let's see, let's get started with, this was a pretty huge week, I thought. And, you know, I kept forgetting that the last week was going to be the last run of episodes for Season 3. And, boy, I mean, I thought the show did not disappoint with this one. How about you?
Yeah, this was a great way to go out, and, you know, the two episodes and the episode Buddies book have just been kind of like slice of life, almost. But we kind of needed that come down after the literally week and a half of all those other episodes.
Yeah, I've noticed a pattern, and I'm sure you have too, where the show will kind of like create these slice of life episodes with these little tidbits of what's going on, and then it slowly builds them or quickly builds them as the show has progressed. And then we get to these huge stories, and then we go right back to the slice of life episodes to kind of like catch us up and, you know, get us to catch our breath, and also kind of get to know the town again. Which is why Kindergarten Kid is so funny, because Bubbled is a fairly dark episode. Bubbled and Back to the Moon, and as well as Earthlings. I mean, we had three really pretty grim episodes in a row, so of course they follow that up with none other than a tribute to Roadrunner, which is hilarious. I can't think of anything more opposite than, Steven discovering his mother killed Pink Diamond. We have Jasper's corruption into a monster. We have that scene with Eyeball and Steven, trapped in a bubble where you think Steven may die.
She really tried to kill him.
Yeah, she tries to murder him. When you think about it, it's a pretty dark circumstance. They're both trapped in this bubble in space, all alone in the darkness, with her trying to kill him with a knife. Trying to kill a child with a knife. So, yeah, next episode, let's do some wacky Chuck Jones hijinks. And
I love this episode because, as a big Looney Tunes fan as I am, you can clearly see they must have marathon Wile E. Coyote and just been like, let's do that.
Yeah.
Because there are moments like when Peridot falls off the cliff and you hear the...
That was so perfect. And I was kind of waiting for that, because I, early on recognized what they were doing. What I really loved was they really did capture the Chuck Jones Roadrunner cartoons perfectly, because when I see people pay tribute to the Looney Tunes stuff of that era, they go way too hyperkinetic with the action, and it's too in your face. And that's kind of not how Chuck Jones did his shtick. The pacing was very much like it. Had these little vignettes that faded into each other. I thought it was so well done.
It was a very fun episode. You do see that. Also, it does clearly show that Steven's becoming more of a mentor type character, especially to Peridot.
Yeah.
Where he's telling her, yeah, these things aren't monsters. They used to be like you, and they're just scared. They're not stupid.
Yeah, he's definitely taken a mentorship with her, which I think is an interesting relationship. He is sort of doing for her what the Gems did for him and are continuing to do for him. His relationship with Lapis is slightly different. They're like more friends that he's trying to help. And Peridot is sort of, in a way, a pupil, but he's not really calling her that because her ego would obviously not handle that very well. So I really like the dynamics and the different friendships. It's not the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. It's a very interesting dynamic between the two, and a lot of people did complain about, oh, why did Peridot get poofed? And I'm like, it's supposed to be a Looney Tunes cartoon. It's supposed to be like this. I can take it.
Yeah, I know. It's like, come on, man. It's a tribute to Looney Tunes cartoons. I don't know. It's just, sometimes you just have to lighten up and just enjoy it. And she's a gem. She can take damage. And she can't shapeshift, so they can't do any cartoon physics with the character. So they had to kind of play it this way, where she's just a little bit more durable.
Yeah. I do want to see this episode, if someone can. I want someone to re-edit this episode with a bunch of classic Chuck Jones music and sound effects for Looney Tunes.
I would not be shocked if that wasn't done. And I know that, it's so fun to see an episode like this, because I know Rebecca Sugar is like a fan of kind of all cartoons, and she's talked about like watching Looney Tunes growing up, as well as anime. And the show leans a little bit more in favor of anime references, and it's fun to see mixed in an almost entire Looney Tunes episode, which doesn't doesn't go too far, because it's still a Steven Universe episode.
Yeah. It's just an all-around fun episode, and again, we kind of needed this come down after the 3 episodes. It just nearly made me have an emotional heart attack.
Yeah. Where do you want to start? You want to talk about the Jasper story or the Bubble story? I think we should probably talk about Jasper first.
Yeah. Because there's actually something I really want to talk about Jasper after this big revelation we had.
Yeah, go. You have the floor.
The thing about Jasper, and it turns out that we've all kind of, before this, we all kind of assumed Jasper was this kind of just mindless, I wouldn't say mindless, but this very, hardcore soldier. And it turns out that she's really, in the end, it's almost like she's a Ronin, trying to save her master's honor or avenge her master's death.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And it's definitely congeals with what she was saying about Rose in her first appearance, because when she realized, when she thought Rose wasn't there, or any kind of version of Rose wasn't there, she instantly didn't want to be a part of it. It's like she told Peridot, well, just kill him and let me know when we're ready, and we'll get going. It wasn't until she realized that Steven had Rose's gem, that's when she got interested.
Exactly, and it does clearly show that when you look back at the episodes, it's like she wasn't doing this to be a good soldier. She was doing this to avenge her diamond.
Yeah, that's right. You killed my master, and now I'll have revenge.
It's actually kind of sad, because I remember looking at this webcomic of a parody scene of that hologram Pearl made of Rose, but it was between Jasper and Pink Diamond.
Yeah. And
I was like, oh god, I can't take it. I just watched the episode.
Let's see. So they finally captured Jasper, and she was corrupted to boot. We also got that drop that Jasper was within the Pink Diamond Court, and with Back to the Moon, with the Ruby Squad, which were hilarious in this episode. I probably should mention with Earthlings, we got the conclusion to Amethyst's story arc about not measuring up to Jasper. I thought that was extremely well done.
And the best way to do that is with a fusion.
Yeah.
And plus, it's also really interesting with Jasper is that she's the exact opposite. Whereas Amethyst was the glitch of a perfect kindergarten, Jasper was the perfect gem in a bad kindergarten.
Yeah. That's that. I didn't even think about that. That's kind of interesting. They're juxtaposed, you would say. But let's see. We probably should go on to Smoky Quartz. What do you think of that design?
I really like it. I like how it's very imperfect, much like how Steven and Amethyst view themselves. But at the same time, it's very clear that she's very fun-loving. She's very quick-witted, and it does leave the possibility now. What can Steven make now that he confused with other gems now?
Yeah, because this is the first gem. This is the first full gem he's fused with, and to be honest, I was betting they were leading up to him fusing with Peridot. Because he was taking such an interest in mentoring her. And the 3A crystal gems are kind of his mom's, so I thought they were going to go that way. But him and Amethyst also make sense because they have a lot. They have a lot in common in the dynamic of the group. They're both kind of the kids of the other two. So yeah, this definitely made sense. And Natasha Lyonne's performance as Smoky Quartz is fantastic.
Yeah, again, they bring in another Orange is the New Black actress.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I just have this weird feeling they're on set who's like, hey, you want to be in the show too? Come on.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I'm doing it. Do you want to record? Yeah, okay, I got a minute. Oh, so yeah, it's so perfectly blended. Because, the choice on actors for these fusions have been great so far. Like, they really do feel kind of like both characters. I mean, it's really well done.
Yeah, they. I don't know what they, how they meant to think of it, or if they go through actresses or voice actors and actresses to find the right voices. But yeah, they definitely hit it every mark.
Hold on, we have sirens coming by. That's what happens when you live in Norfolk. Like, there's a fire truck. I think that's a fire truck or ambulance. Yeah. Fire truck. We live near a fire department. And, yeah, and every once in a while I get a comment like, oh, man, you should record, when they're not going. Like, they're always going.
There's always emergencies.
I can't spend all day talking about this crap. Oh, so anyway. Let's see, let's move on to Bubbled, actually. Or Bubbled and Back to the Moon. How much time we got? 10 minutes? 15 minutes? Oh, perfect. More time than I thought. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Back to the Moon and Bubbled episodes, which probably my favorite episodes of the week, which was a pretty close contender because there was a really strong last week. And first, the Ruby Squad comes back. And
I love how the threat they're treated.
Well, individually, they're not really a threat at all to the crystal gems, but as a fused group, they're devastator essentially. And yeah, because they're really afraid of the giant ruby, but individually they're all kind of a joke. And adorable, frankly.
But that changes in the next episode.
Yeah, it does. Well, I mean, that whole bit with Amethyst taking shape of Jasper to fool the rubies, and it works 100%, despite her remarkably bad acting.
And pearls.
And pearls, yeah, Pearl's over dramatic acting. It just cracked me up every time Amethyst said, "Yeah, I'm Jasper." It reminded me of Linda Belcher's acting. Like in that Thanksgiving episode. I'm Linda!
I will say that it is interesting to see that Jasper's treated almost like a war hero to the rubies.
Yeah, I mean, they're fanning over her.
Yeah. It's also, I don't know if this was a reference, but one of the rubies say that when she popped out, she killed 80 gems in a single night. Someone said that might be a reference to the anime Berserk.
Oh, I've heard that too, but to be honest, I haven't seen Berserk, so I can't really confirm that for myself, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. But no, it's really cool to see these, it does show that in a war, there's heroes on both sides.
Yeah. I had this feeling we're going to see more of that in this show. Like, yeah, the gem homeworld is evil and they want to kill Earth, but there are other sides to that. It's not, the dark and light in Star Wars. There's some gray areas, and some characters that may not be totally evil, even though they're on the wrong side. This show kind of does that a lot. It's so interesting for such a simplistic art style and animation style. It has such a gray and really complex network of stories and characters, which I think is a great combination. But
you want to talk about the big reveal of what Rose did?
Yes, of course. I've been waiting to talk about that. Eyeball reveals that it was Rose Quartz who shattered and killed Pink Diamond, thus starting or at least escalating the war. And of course, that really bothers Steven, and he doesn't believe it at first until Garnet and Bubble confirms it, that she did what she had to do. Of course,
yeah, it does lead to an interesting thing that maybe Pearl was Pink Diamond's Pearl, as well as did they not? My question is, did Garnet and Pearl watch, or did they assist in killing Pink Diamond?
I know. At least Pearl. I don't know about Garnet. Garnet could have been away doing something. She could have been there. I assume Pearl and Garnet were her two main buds through the war, which is why they were there at the time of the corruption, where they were able to be protected. They definitely knew, and I want more details on this, obviously, and I know that we don't know everything yet. It's not going to be as simple as we're told. And then, of course, there are people who are arguing, this is totally out of Rose Quartz's character. Didn't she just, one episode earlier, we talk about how she imprisoned Bismuth for 5,000 years for wanting to kill gems, and she killed a gem. But you know what? I have the feeling that she didn't intend to straight up murder her. I have this feeling they're going to go this way, where it wasn't what she was planning to do, but it kind of happened, and they had no choice but to just continue from there. And also, she learned something from that, and she didn't particularly care for doing it, which is why she had such a staunch respect all life motto after that. At least that's what I'm thinking. How about you?
I think that's the same way too, where she was put in a no-win situation, and we are starting to see that Rose was not some perfect what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, perfect being. There's the word. Thank you. She was no perfect leader. She Optimus Prime. She is not. But yeah, the big thing here is that we're starting to see Rose is that she had to be a leader, and leaders make tough calls, and this is probably the high mark for it. And I would imagine that the Diamonds this is probably why the Diamonds are so vehement about destroying Earth. They lost a sister to Rose.
Yeah. I'd always had this feeling that Pink Diamond had been shattered, and it was either the Diamonds, because maybe she stood with the gems, or maybe it was Rose, and apparently it was the latter. I actually find this more interesting, because it does add a lot of dimension to Rose. That, this cute dork that didn't understand that babies and adults were the same thing could have done such a thing.
It is a very tragic moment, and I think Steven is, at least he's understanding that his mother had to do these kind of awful things so Earth would be safe.
Yeah. I also have this feeling we're going to get kind of a Luke and Anakin moment where Steven might be put in the position of doing that again. I would not be surprised if he is put in the position of being able to shatter Yellow Diamond in the future.
Yeah. Or at least one of the diamonds. It's it is it's clearly coming to a head. Especially, I'm pretty sure season 4 we're going to be seeing more of the diamonds, and probably explain what's with Ryan.
We'll talk about Buddy's book next episode. Actually, I want to talk about that. Is there anything else? How much more time we got? 10 minutes? Oh,
Wow.
9 minutes. Jeez. Okay. I keep thinking we have a lot less time. Okay, so let's talk about Know Your Fusion.
This is another fun episode, and the best part is it's kind of fun because now we get to see the fusions take spotlight.
Yes, that's actually a good point. I remember like a couple minutes into the episode, and yeah, these characters are technically Steven and the Crystal Gems, but the voice actresses are completely different. We have, Sardonyx and Smoky Quartz throughout the entire episode. And it's interesting. I hadn't thought of this. It's interesting seeing a fusion take a mentorship towards another fusion. Like, hey, this is what it's like to be a fusion. Come on, let's talk. And you kind of.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that we kind of forget, especially these days when the fusions are kind of one and done. We forget that these aren't like the combiners and transformers where they're just there to smash things. It's more like, no, they're actual people. Look at Garden.
Yeah, they are individuals in themselves, which is why Sugarlight was so angry about not being fused, about not being a whole being all the time. She hates being split up. So yeah, it's and Garnet is like Garnet isn't just simply Ruby and Sapphire. I tend to consider her a person in and of herself, and she is together most of the time, so she's had plenty of time to kind of develop as a person on her own. And if they split, she essentially dies. Let's just say.
It also brings up the question when Sardonyx says her room exists as long as I exist. So it's like, does that mean if Ruby and Sapphire split up, Garnet's room goes away?
I hadn't thought about that. I guess so. That makes sense. And also, actually, to be honest, if like that happened, I suppose if any of the gems were shattered, their rooms would disappear. But let's see. Yeah, the episode is mostly kind of for fun, really, with a lot of kind of like meta jokes about Nicki Minaj, and I love that joke because like all the fans have been talking about how they can't get Nicki Minaj back because they can't afford her, and they do that exact joke in the episode, which is very funny.
I really love I love that segment, but I think I really love the moments where they're making fun of a clip show and they have the images of the fusions, and it says, what was it? Images courtesy of Cartoon Network.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, this was a pretty light and fun episode, and Smoky Quartz is just really entertaining. And I just was thoroughly entertained by Garnet and Pearl's reaction, and just the whole episode in general. Yeah, first 2 episodes after season 3 are just pretty light and fun episodes, really, and I really like the pattern of how they do these.
Yeah, because but now I'm starting to get wise to the act. It's like, okay, how long until I get emotionally beaten down again?
If I took the time, I could probably mathematically figure that out. Like maybe 7 episodes. Get ready. But who knows? I don't know. Maybe there is an exact number pattern, but yeah, I'd say we can probably go maybe a couple more episodes, and then something will be delivered to us. Who knows when? I predict probably it'll be. There's a fortune teller episode where Steven dresses up like a robot or something like that at Beach City and starts telling fortunes. Bet you anything we're gonna some kind of dark, ominous message in that episode.
Yeah, and it also looks like it might be Sapphire. Sapphire in that episode. Because
I've seen a preview of Sapphire looking at this huge aura of energy, and it's a beautiful shot, by the way. and she looks terrified. So something's coming up, I think. I can't wait. Any last thoughts on the summer of Steven or this week, Deadpool?
This was a great way to end the Steven nuke, and it was a great way. This was just a great way to show off the entire season, exhausting as it was.
yes, it was.
I will also say, as like a side note, God, I wanted to live in. I just want to live in Lapis and Peridot's home. It looks amazing.
I could go for making a meat morp or two, and seeing what happens. Like, this is a meat warp representing the time we bought some wine.
I also I just love Lapis's reaction at the end of Kindergarten Kid, where Peridot finally makes a bubble, sends the gem to her home, which in her mind it's the barn.
It's the barn, yeah.
And Lapis just gives it one look. Is like, not a single crap given.
Yeah, I absolutely love Lapis right now. I think she's absolutely hilarious. This character just cannot even pretend to give a crap. And make her live with Peridot, who does nothing but give a crap about everything. It's really enjoyable. I could go for like a spin-off series for them for a while.
At least a mini, like a little web series.
Yeah. All right, we're running out of time. My director Lindsay is like giving me the light. So we're gonna have to finish it off here. We'll be talking to you again about the next episode is Buddy's book. And until next time, I'm the Real Manos.
And I'm Deadpoolzilla saying, push the button, Lindsay.